thought, against Atlanta. So how about Portland? Let's check in on where they fit in. And Dame against Buddy Ball. Early on, Lillard. Light night, Candace. How dare you after 60 only have 27?
Yeah, and Dame has not been the issue. I mean, Dame can get a basket and a bucket anytime he feels like it. He needs a number 2 and a number 3 guy to step up.
This is called the Bogdanovic block, because really, you had one, then you might as well have the other. Big game. Bojan with 15 points, 4 assists in the first half. CJ McCollum can be streaky, Zeke, when he gets hot. We see red hot. He had 24 in the game.
Yeah, and as Candace said, Portland needs that third score to really, come in and really solidify what Dame and what CJ is doing out there.
Basically take the last 5 years of shows here and just press play, because that's right, same story. With different pieces in and out. We thought Nurkic, we thought this, we thought that. We know this. Buckets, they're good. Sacramento in the third.
Got him.
More from Bogdanovic. 25 points, 10 assists, 4 steals. Yogi finds him again. Drains the 3. Big night. Buddy had 20 and 4. And this is where you're like, wow, Sacramento good win, but Portland 4 and 7. Rough start.
Very rough start for Portland. And, out in the West, these are games that you have to win if you're Portland and you're talking about, making the playoffs, because the West right now, every game that you lose truly is a big game. It's not like you can make these games up, because in the West, all these teams are so good, and then Phoenix has jumped up into the picture, and no one thought that Phoenix would be as good as they are right now.
When you look at duos, Lillard and McCollum going in the story, and not how you start, how you finish. Bogdanovic and Hield with big nights. The Kings and Luke Walton and company get a win against Portland. So the West, wild it is, right? We know about the 2 LA teams. Outside of that, a lot of inconsistency first couple weeks in the year.
Yeah, I expected more from Portland. Obviously they've had injuries. They lost a lot of key pieces.
Yeah.
Aminu, Seth Curry. There's a lot of pieces that are gone. But I did expect them to be able to pull out some of these early wins that have been bad losses thus far.
As we know, because Brendan Haywood works with us, not all Tar Heels have great hair, but Kobe White, he does. Certainly, you take a look.
I love it.
There they are. We are feeling what Kobe was feeling with Roy Williams in the building.
What did you guys do?
I have no idea what
why?
this means, but we'll
Hold on,
next.
TK. I have questions.
Looking for the hat trick of 3 road wins in a row. Philly early with the Ben Simmons return, who had missed his last 2 games. How about a fadeaway to start us off? He was 6 of 7 in the first half and got off well. This one a little bit easier, though, Candace, than the last one off the feet.
Yeah, this is what Ben Simmons does best, but I will say the Cavs' transition defense wasn't at its best on this possession.
Not at its best was the 3-point shooting on the night for the Sixers as a team, but Second Spectrum takes us into the one guy who had it going early from deep. Zeke, that is Joel Embiid. I know you love the analytics, so go ahead.
No, I like when Embiid, knocks down the 3. I just don't want him settling for the 3, which at the end of the game he didn't. But Tristan Thompson says, okay, Embiid, if you're not going to guard me, we do have shoot-around, and we had shoot-around this morning, and this is like giving him warm-up practice shots that he was getting because he wasn't being defended at the 3-point line.
Well, all the percentages were in the 20s. Still probably not good, but it went in. And as a coach, you know that. It's okay. Deep breath. There's Ben Simmons. They close out the first half. The Sixers do up 6. And Embiid goes from deep to where really he's dominant, Candace, and that's in the paint.
And that's the thing. There's not anybody in this league that can guard Embiid one-on-one if he puts his head down. And the telltale of him having a good game is him getting to the free throw line.
We've seen good games in a couple of different spots now out of Clarkson when he gets hot and feels that he is that way. Cleveland got off to a great start in the 4th. He and Colin Sexton drives in, lay-in. The Cavs up by 5. They have the lead, and then there's Tristan Thompson. Watch this. He is going to end up losing the ball eventually after trying to put together drills that were not going to be followed by Zeke, and then what was that?
Come on, Tristan.
Hey, when the big guy goes behind his back one time, he's like, ooh, that felt good. Let me see if I can do it one more time. But
there are times where you get, like, sometimes you spill your soda on a PlayStation controller and the square button gets stuck, and that's the only reason to shoot from that deep, clearly. Let's unstick the button.
It felt like he was hot.
Lead late. Hot not from three, but a great pass from Mr. Volunteer. Harris into Embiid there, Candace.
And a great out-of-timeout play drawn up to get the big fella the basketball.
Another good play here. I mean, look, great look from Love. Zeke just didn't go.
Great look, but, the most important part of that was the pump fake. And the pump fake at that point in time in the game freed him open, gave him a clean look. Just overshot it, hit the back of the rim and came off long.
You look at Embiid, great game, but 10 out of 20, numbers only that far and wide because he spent so much on the perimeter right inside. Candace, to your point, dominant, and that's a point that is made after the game, after the win, in a conversation with our own Dennis Scott.
All right, thanks, guys. Here with a big fella. You get off to a great start shooting the threes, but down the stretch, you made your business down the paint.
That's what I got to do. And great pass by Tobias, great play call by Coach, and, I just had to do the rest, finish it.
I know you guys come back off a tough road trip. The turnovers tonight really was the Achilles heel. How do you fix that for the rest of the season?
We just got to make the simple plays, keep it simple, move the ball, don't over-dribble, and we're going to be fine.
And defensively, can you guys regroup and focus and play better defense like you did the first five, 6 games?
I felt like even on the road trip, we were good defensively. Offensively, we had too many turnovers. The offense was not the same. So I'm sure we only going to learn from here. We're going to get better.
All right, stay healthy, big fella.
I appreciate it.
We look at the big three on this night, and remember, Tobias not shown. Horford didn't play. Jay Rich had some big shots, but Candace, how about the performance from the others in addition to Embiid tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Richardson has done a great job of being that steady person, but I don't know if he's going to be that third guy. And those are the questions. I love Ben Simmons' numbers. I love that he's efficient, but I think Ben Simmons needs and deserves and has to take more shots for this team to be successful.
I mean, we always want more out of Ben Simmons because we know the potential is there for him to be better. But I think Ben Simmons has done a good job in terms of understanding who he is and is stubborn enough to play the game that he plays. And, he's 7 for 9 tonight. On any night, that's a great night. But what we always want Ben to do is say, hey, I got to make my game better. I got to evolve. Because you and I both know that come championship time, when it's time to win championships, you have to be that all-around player and have those all-around skills for your team to succeed. Lucky enough for him, they haven't got to that step yet.
We go and step from the big three in Philly to CP3. And his love for the outfit tonight from Victor Oladipo, who is going to love the play from one of the bigger additions, not talked about enough from the offseason, Zeke, and we've talked about it the last couple of weeks, Malcolm Brogdon, who got off hot at 18 in the first half.
Yeah, and Milwaukee is really going to miss Brogdon. I mean, you talk about someone who's a solid player defensively and offensively. I mean, his fundamentals are flawless. The way he's shooting the basketball right now with great confidence, and his leadership. I mean, what the Pacers did to the Thunder tonight, they whacked him pretty good as he came out and really set the tone.
And a chameleon who could score when he needed him to, which we've seen, but also will understand with Oladipo on the floor how to get it done. Speaking of scoring, TJ Warren, note to everyone who's not aware, he can do that. He had 23. Sabonis, Candace, continues to improve almost by the day, it seems.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching Sabonis grow. Him and Turner, they solidified that they were going to be their future. And just the way that they're playing around, I think when Oladipo does get back, it's definitely going to boost his game.
5th consecutive double-double, Zeke, for Sabonis, who at 18 and 16. How about this? TJ Leaf out of UCLA. And Victor Oladipo I'd rather be playing than watching, but if he's watching that, he's okay with it.
Wait, does he have a bag on the... What does he have in the bag on the bench, Casey?
Candy,
Candy?
perhaps.
Okay.
Extra Halloween candy.
Extra Halloween candy.
I've eaten all mine. None.
We'll go with that.
None at the house remaining. We know this for the Pacers. 7-4, good start. Sabonis is good. This is probably not as good. What is that? Maybe an iPad?
I mean,
what do you think? iPad? Perhaps?
Hey, listen, I'm not going to question it because Oladipo is always dressed nice.
Well, I know.
But I'm going to wear a bag. I'm going to wear a bag up here next.
Apple, not a sponsor, but he clearly couldn't have a Kia in the bag. They don't want to make one that small. Perhaps he is watching center court, back court, front court, and all the different feeds we have. As I feed this over to you, Zeke, when you look at the Pacers and the job Nate did last year, everybody seems to have gotten better. We talked Sabonis. Can he and Turner get them where they need to go as the years develop together? Or do you look at Sabonis and say, well, maybe he's looking like he should be the one of the two? How do you see that?
I think he can be. And the reason why I say he and Turner can play together is because we're seeing them without Oladipo. Once you put Oladipo back on the floor and he gets back up to speed, this is a well-rounded basketball team. When you look at their coaching staff in terms of Popeye Jones, Dan Burke, Nate McMillan, they understand offensive side of the basketball and they understand the defensive side of the basketball. So I expect for them to come back and continue to play strong, and I do think those two can have great success.
And something, Candace, quickly to watch as they get healthier, their depth, the smarts of a McConnell, the scoring of Warren Lamb. They've got more than most benches are going to have to offer once they get healthy.
I mean, they have more than most benches are going to offer. They have experience, but I really want to go back to Brogdon and how much this is a 50-40-90 type of player that can play defense, that has played winning basketball. I'm a firm believer in having that on your roster if you're building anything. And then you put him with Oladipo, it's going to be special.
Yeah, a lot of basketball IQ and IQ in general there. Speaking of IQ, we give you information about what's in the purse. Maybe we should have somebody investigate that. Perhaps they'll do that on the warm-up, which you can catch up on every single night before we get to you every single night on Game Time. More presented by Kia coming up on the other side.